Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow, that was delicious. I'll tell you what, having a cup of coffee in the morning is truly one of the things I genuinely enjoy, as most of you know. What a beautiful morning, too. I mean, there's a little bit of wind out, but really mild. And the smell, they had a nice rain come through here, and just it smells absolutely amazing. Well, guys, I truly hope that you had a fantastic weekend. I love to take the weekends, Judy and I do, just to kind of have that family time, regroup, get revitalized, energized, and connect with one another and stuff like that. And I sure hope that that's how you get to spend your weekends. But hey, I know what it's like to have to work two jobs and one back to back and weekends to boot. Did lots of years like that, so I totally get that too. And that's just the way it is when you're trying to, provide for the family and what. But if you do get that time, hey, take it. It's such an amazing thing, and really the dividends it pays is so phenomenal. I know that a lot of times life gets so busy, and you just feel like you're just going from like burning the candle at both ends of the stick, and just having that time, it means so much, just a little bit. And if you can get it, take it. That's my suggestion anyway. Well, guys, I got a ton of emails over the weekend, and that reminded me just there. I'm going to get those all out today and respond to all those. So, hey, I appreciate your patience. When I do get those emails on the weekend, I try to wait till the week and try to reply to them on Monday and stuff like that. Well, the article that I read this morning, guys, unbelievable, and in fact, really telling. So this is all about FTX, and apparently, I guess the political donations that were given by Sam Bankman-Fried and crew total up to $93 million. Yep, that is unbelievable, and so much so that it impacts 1 in 3 members of Congress that benefited from these political donations, and that is absolutely obscene. Let's remember that SBF was out there. He was advocating for all these legislative changes with respect to this crypto space and what regulation should be employed and da 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 da. And basically, as far as it looks just like pay to play. That he was out there trying to influence all these legislators with his agenda and idea, and of course using the depositors' funds to make these donations. Well, apparently now letters have gone out asking these, politicians to cough that money back and to pay it back into the coffers. And I'm telling you what, if SBF ever had any friends in Congress, my guess is they've all evaporated like smoke. I mean, you're asking for money back from a politician? Oh boy, that's like the unpardonable sin when it comes to politics. And we'll just see what really pans out and who actually pays it back. In fact, it would be really nice to know who actually got the donations specifically. I'd like to see a nice long list and see which politicians actually got it. And we're talking both sides of the aisle here, guys, both Democrats and Republicans. So, not painting anybody with a brush, but I'm telling you what. Look, I get the whole lobbying, method of getting information out there and getting legislation for various industries and stuff like that. And in truth, I genuinely don't have any major issues with that. I think there's a really great place in our democratic society for lobbyists and stuff like that, because these corporations, they put millions and millions of dollars into research and this and that in order to back up what they are hoping to achieve. And so that's a big positive as far as I'm concerned. Now, how it works in reality, this whole pay-to-play stuff, I mean, come on, it's like the old radio days of payola and crap like that. And of course, that still goes on. But the truth of it is, these politicians, seriously, when you consider, like, where's the integrity ultimately to do, some looking into and stuff like that? I mean, you would not have to send me out a letter and say, hey, we would like to have that money back. The moment that I knew that this was used by fraudulent funds that were taken from depositors, retail investors, I would have been doing whatever I could to reach out to the manager of this whole situation, like, the trustee or whomever, and I would have worked out some kind of deal to get that money back. That is a fact. But guys, the world that we live in now is just shades of gray. There really is no black and white anymore. I genuinely don't believe it, because If you're black and white on any issue, like it's this way or it's that way, that's what we're talking about there, then they look at you like, well, you must be some sort of a extremist to actually take a stand on any one position. Why? Because everybody's all about compromise. They're all about playing the middle ground, the safe side. We used to call that sitting on the fence. And we'd say, take a side, take a stand, take a side. But no one wants to take a side. No one really wants to take a stand, because if they do, well, now they put themselves into that camp. And but then we might lose these guys over here. Come on. It's not about getting into government. It's not about the power. It's about the representation. It's about going out there, taking a stand and doing a job. But that's not what it is today anymore. It's not that at all. And maybe it hasn't been that for a long, long time. And we've just been under a massive, illusion that we had any kind of say whatsoever. But the way things are now, it just really just lacks any kind of a semblance or representation of true integrity. I mean, really. I'm still kind of really ticked, and I hope a lot of you are too, in fact, and I rarely say that, but I'm pretty ticked over this whole Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler deal. And to me, it's absolutely beyond the pale and a total breach of, Elizabeth Warren's oath of office. That woman should be literally holding her head in shame and resign. And Gary Gensler, come on. Talk about a double standard. And this whole high-minded stuff that he comes out with on Twitter and on YouTube and what, saying, hey, we're looking for fair and balance. You guys want to, come on in and talk to us. What a load of disingenuous baloney, when in the background, you're just playing games. And I'm telling you, that guy needs to be kicked right out on his hiney as fast as possible. But, for a lot of reasons, but that one specifically, it just shows, hey, shows their spots, shows their stripes, shows the character that's on the inside, doesn't it? And it also shows what they really think of us, right? What they really think of the electorate. They don't have any respect for us, guys. Let's be truly honest. This has nothing to do with that. It's just pandering to, all of these, the little people like you and I. But what they don't realize is we are the people. We, the people. That's who is supposed to be running this country. And unfortunately, we have just acquiesced due to irresponsibility, and because, hey guys, it's like this. It is nice to be entertained, isn't it? It's nice to be distracted from day-to-day life and the hard knocks and all that, isn't it? And that's what they've basically done. They've dumbed us down to a point where we're just entertained. As long as we're entertained, as long as we have our little creature comforts, as long as this and this, then yeah, we can be literally lulled into some sort of a group sleep so that they can just do whatever they please. And that's what's happened here. And that's why we need to get out there and craft and get back and craft the country that, what we originally wanted in the first place, and not to let them label us as extremists because we're taking a stand on an issue. Look, I love that Aaron Tippin song, or something. I think it was Aaron Tippin's song, you got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. And there's some truth right there, I'll tell you what. Anyhow, that's a biggie. But guys, it is going to be a great week. I think we've got a lot of things happening this week that are just really going to, show where we're headed in the next direction over the next few weeks and months. And especially, guys, when you consider that we're just getting more and more moving forward with this whole digital space. I read another article today about the Bank of England coming out there and really communicating in a big way the necessity for digital currency. Come on. I know they're putting it out there now, and the narrative is just getting more louder. But what they're really doing is just prepping the population for when they eventually issue it, because it's on the way. We all know it's on the way, and it's going to turn the whole world on its head when they see the whole adoption of this digital asset space in a massive way. And I always think of it like this. There might be a two-tiered system here. Those that transact on central bank digital currencies, and those of us that are able to transact utilizing XRP, XLM, XDC, and on, because they are definitely monetary instruments. They're stores of value, units of account, mediums of exchange, all of that kind of stuff. And I always love to say this, there are people actually in the United States getting their salaries in XRP. That alone says volumes. So don't think, guys, that we aren't going to see some major changes coming up. But anyhow, I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Mondays are great because what? You get to start your new week and stuff like that, and it's all fresh and everything. And so, I like Mondays for that reason. And I always did like Mondays, even when I was working and not retired. I love Mondays. But needless to say, that's the way it is. Well, guys, I sure hope you're having a fantastic one. And later on today, we have a great video out there for you. And until then, hey, take care.